I offer my humble pranam at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. I pray to my Lord that He speaks through me this evening. Sai Ram, my name is Sunita Batra. I'm from Glendale Center. 50 years ago, Swami came in my life. Someone asked my mother to accompany her to see Swami in New Delhi. My mother was not a religious person. Anyhow, reluctantly, she did go with this person, and luckily, my mother got a chance to be in the front row. I don't think she realized at that time her good fortune. Swami came straight to my mother, handed his picture and a packet of vibhuti. My mother was mesmerized and could not believe her fortune. Right after Swami's discourse, she went and bought 2 big pictures of Swami and she brought it to her home. And here I was a young girl studying in high school and Swami came in my life. At that time there was a void in my life. My grandmother had just passed away. My 2 sisters had got married, so it was perfect. And I started praying to Swami. And over last 50 years, I cannot tell how much Swami has helped me, guided me, walked by my side, held my hand and carried me during dark times. As a child, he carried me in his arms. I am so grateful for Swami to give me his boundless, unconditional love, his grace, his blessings, his teachings that all have transformed me and continue to transform me. Now that Swami is not with us anymore in his physical form, how do I connect with Swami? I am not very knowledgeable about scriptures. I'm not a bhajan singer. But the easiest way for me to connect with Swami is through service. Swami says that's serve all, love all. This is a way to earn God's love. And he said it beautifully. And I'll narrate a couple of incidents where I've been involved in service projects that have elevated me and elevated people to another level, volunteers who worked with me. The first project, I'm going to go back to December 2007. At that time, I was very successful in my career. I was working as a director. My children were settled. I was very busy with my job. Everything was going for me, and yet there were feelings of loneliness and emptiness. I prayed to Swami, Swami, show me the way, guide me, use me. Even though at work I was in a job that was allowing me to help children with disabilities, help parents of children with disabilities. But I was yearning for more. At that time, another Sai devotee and I had a conversation and we decided to go to homeless shelter in Glendale. We called them and we took food for them one night. This is after we received an approval from them. When we reached there, we found out there was a confusion and it wasn't meant to be for us. I came back disappointed, but of course our Lord was there to rescue me. I did get a call next day from the director of the shelter. And she said, please, I'm so sorry for what happened. Could you please come back and provide food 4th Sunday of the month? That was perfect. That was 17 years ago. And I, along with other group of volunteers, have been serving at this shelter. Initially, when I first started, I was serving food with a group of volunteers who worked with me and their family members. We cooked healthy meals, we would serve residents, we would sit with them, chat. And while I was doing all that, I felt such intense connection with each one of them. I felt the bliss the same feeling I would get when I was in Puttaparthi, and Swami would walk by and look straight into my eyes. That feeling of oneness was experienced by me at the shelter while connecting with a homeless person. These are the people, when we see them on the street, we pretend we don't see them. We think in our head they're dangerous, but I saw God in them while I was providing their service. This was nothing but a miracle. Miracle Swami gave it to me, the experience Swami gave it to me to connect with someone who also had Swami in him. And I realized that it wasn't just me, the other volunteers felt the same way. Over 17 years, there was not one Sunday we skipped serving, except during the pandemic for a short period of time. There was a time when we all were traveling and there was nobody to help. And a friend of mine out of nowhere called me. And when I mentioned that I need help with the shelter dinner, she said I would be more than happy to do it. But she was only one, and it was one day before the fourth Sunday when dinner had to be served. This friend of mine went to Costco, picked up 10 pizza, picked a bag of salad and some drinks. And when she was pushing these 10 big boxes of pizza, people around her asked, "Where are you taking these pizzas? Are you having a party?" And she said, "No, this is for a shelter." And you would not believe how strangers came up to her and said, "Can we help you? We can put it in the car for you." So when you do a service project, you have no idea the ripple effect it causes. It's beyond our vision. We have no idea how this is going to touch others. And so just by giving a chance to strangers at Costco to help with pizza boxes, she made people happy, the strangers happy. So this project is very near and dear to me, and we continue to do it. Over these years, volunteers have come and gone, but Swami has made sure I always have help to continue providing service to. The second project I want to talk about is also very near and dear to my heart. Swami says, whatever skills, talents you have, use it for the society. You are in debt to help the society with what God has given you. And this happened in my case. I have worked for years as a substitute teacher, as a psychologist, as a director. And all these work experiences and knowledge led me to get into my second project. This was in 2019. I was in Puttaparthi. I was approached by a family who had a child with attention deficit disorder. The child studied in Swami's school, and he was not allowed to come back because of his diagnosis. And the parents were distraught and came to me to see if I could help them. That evening, I was introduced to Mrs. Karuna Munshi, who's the director of Shri Sathya Sai Baba. And I expressed my concern to her. I said, how come Swami Schools doesn't take all children, especially children with disabilities? And she said, we are working on it. And when she found out about my background, she was excited to know that that another Sai devotee had all this knowledge, experience, and she asked me to join the team. And just the next year, Indian government passed a law and said schools have to take all children with disability. Now this has become such a big project where we're working on for all schools, and we especially for Swami schools, we are coming up with guidelines and blueprint on how to educate students with disabilities. There are millions of students in India that have been deprived of an education. And Swami has given me such a perfect chance. And look at the time. He gave me this opportunity to work on this project when I was retired and I had time to contribute. He also gave us an opportunity to work on this project after the pandemic when Zoom was available to us. So we are a team of educators. In my team, I have educators from South Africa, Australia, England, New York, India, We all meet on Google Meet or Zoom, and we come up with procedures and policies on how to include children with disabilities in school. It brings me boundless sense of gratitude towards Swami. Swami couldn't have used me in a better way, and I am so grateful to Swami for doing that. My service keeps me connected to Swami, and I am always grateful. Over the years, through service, I've learned I'm not doing service for others, I'm doing it for my own self. I'm not talking about today about my service projects to boast my ego. This is just to talk about glory of the Lord, who's always come up with divine plans and executed them in such a perfect, timely manner. Each and every project He sent my way is handpicked by Him. And when I have anxiety and I'm not sure I can do it, He holds my hand and He guides me. And He makes sure that it is perfectly executed, just like all tasks Swami executed in His life. I would encourage each and every one of you to explore this bliss by serving someone. It doesn't have to be a big project. It can be done in a small level. You can just smile at a stranger, hold the door for someone, just say good morning, and you'll see when you do that, you connect with that person's soul. You connect with the divine in that person. And it'll give you such a good feeling. And when you do that to that other person, you make their day. And together, let's create a world that Swami has encouraged us to do. A world of love, compassion and care. Sai Ram.